U.S. stock market today down, S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq see one of the worst weeks. Apple share price falls big. U.S. stock market on Friday closed in red. S&P 500 fell 39.19 points to 5,802.82. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 256.02 to 41,603.07, and the Nasdaq Composite sank 188.53 to 18,737.21. The S&P 500 lost 0.7% to close out its worst week in the last 7. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 0.6%, and the Nasdaq Composite sank 1%. Apple's share price dropped 3% and was the heaviest weight on the S&P 500 after Trump went after the company. Deckers Outdoor, the company behind the Hoka and Uggs brands, stock down 19.9%. Ross Stores fell 9.8%. Trump's latest tariff threats stirred up Wall Street after it had recovered most of the losses it had earlier taken because of the trade war. The S&P 500 dropped roughly 20% below its record at one point last month, when worries were at their height about whether Trump's stiff tariffs would cause a global recession. The index then climbed back within 3% of its all-time high after Trump paused his tariffs on many countries, most notably China. In the bond market, Treasury yields fell after swinging back and forth a few times. The yield on the 10-year Treasury eased to 4.51% from 4.54% late on Thursday. It had been running higher earlier in the week, in part on worries about how Washington's efforts to cut taxes could add trillions of dollars to the U.S. government's debt. In stock markets abroad, indexes were mixed in Asia, where markets closed before Trump issued his latest tariff threats. Tokyo's Nikkei 225 rose 0.5%, while stocks fell 0.9% in Shanghai. FAQs Q1. Which are key indexes of U.S. stock market? A1. Key indexes of U.S. stock market are S&P 500, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq. Q2. How is Apple's share price performing? A2. Apple share price dropped 3%